So today on the Women Mind the Water Art of a Series podcast on womenmindthewater.com, I'm speaking with a remarkable young person. Lily Niederhofer is, among other things, a competitive swimmer and an octopus advocate. She conceived an open water swim as a way to raise awareness and money to help stop the operation of the world's first proposed industrial octopus farm. The Women Mind the Water Art of a Series podcast on womenmindthewater.com engages artists in conversation about their work and explores their connection with the ocean. Through their stories, Women Mind the Water hopes to inspire and encourage action to protect the ocean and her creatures. In 2024, Lily Niederhofer completed an open water swim in the Atlantic Ocean. The swim was conceived as a way to raise funds to halt the construction of a proposed industrial-sized octopus farm. Lily also has spent time speaking at schools and with lawmakers as an advocate for the octopus. For her efforts, Lily was named an environmental sports champion by the Louis Pugh Foundation. I'm pleased to welcome Lily to the Women Mind the Water Art of a Series podcast. It is always gratifying to meet someone who has a sincere passion for a cause. Lily's story should remind us that age, size, and gender should never rob us of our agency or prevent us from devoting our efforts to a cause. With that said, listeners might like to know that Lily is not yet a teenager. Welcome, Lily. I want to start by saying that I am inspired by what you are doing. I hope sharing your story will encourage others to follow their passions. Let's begin by having you tell me, have you ever come into direct contact with an octopus?
No, I haven't before, but it would be amazing to see one. Like in real life, but I've seen one in a small marine center, and I was really excited, and there was a really special bond that the octopus and I had. It was super special, and its movements were really curious and elegant, and it made me want to protect them.
So have you ever touched an octopus?
I haven't actually touched one, but I imagine they'd feel soft and maybe kind of silky or squishy. It would feel like touching a gentle sea creature full of curiosity.
Before we go much farther, can you clarify for me what the plural of an octopus is?
It's actually octopuses. Octopi is based on Latin rules, but octopus comes from Greek, so the correct plural is octopuses.
Very interesting. I'll make sure I say that if I use that during our interview. So tell me more about the image you created to proclaim yourself an octopus defender. What aspects of the octopus did you feel were important when you drew the picture?
I wanted to make it feel hopeful and fun, not sad or scary. I showed the octopus with big, expressive eyes and flowing arms to capture its intelligence and beauty. I wanted to show people why they're worth protecting.
Well, it certainly was very friendly to me. I liked it. Is pink your favorite color?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so that might explain why the octopus is pink. Okay.
Yeah.
Does the octopus in the picture have a name?
The octopus does not have a name because it stands for all our octopus friends. I love calling things what they are and finding the correct word for it. Yeah.
So how did you learn about the plan to farm octopuses commercially?
I first heard about it through a website of the Oceanborn Foundation while I was doing research for an independent inquiry project in school. The idea of raising octopuses in tiny tanks just to be killed and eaten felt completely wrong. There are solitary animals that need space, enrichment, and respect. Farming them would be incredibly stressful and cruel. I reached out to the Ocean-Born Foundation and had the most wonderful connection with their founder, Carolina Manhusen-Schwab. She loves octopuses as much as I do. The foundation became the backbone of my project. They supported me in many ways. They helped me design posters, created an amazing logo based on my octopus doodle, and helped me made t-shirts, which I'm wearing today, and even send me books about octopuses, each one signed with a personal messages of encouragement from the team. They believed in me and gave me the strength to embark on the Octoswim.
That's lovely. And can you say the name of the organization again?
So their name is Ocean-Born Foundation, but they recently changed their name to One Ocean Planet.
Now, this might seem like a strange question, but I'm just curious. Before you became an octopus advocate, protector, had you ever eaten octopus before?
No, I haven't, because I'm a vegetarian.
How long have you been a vegetarian?
I've been a vegetarian for almost 2.5 years now. So
Okay.
almost 3 years at the end of June.
And was that your choice?
Yes, it was. My parents are supportive, and I decided to become a vegetarian because I don't want animals to suffer, especially ones that are as smart as octopuses. I didn't feel like it's right to eat them. We have so many options of food, and I don't think it's right we need to eat animals.
Well, that's very noble of you.
Thank you.
So why did you think an open water swim in the Atlantic would raise attention and money to stop the commercial seafood farming project?
I thought it would because the farm was based in Spain around the Atlantic Ocean, and I thought if I do it in the Atlantic Ocean, where many octopuses live, people would actually pay attention and learn and to stop the octopus farm altogether.
So had you ever done an open water swim before?
I trained with my open water coach Jal and my pool coach Telma for the octo swim, but I had never done one before the swim that I did. And I practiced for 3 months in the ocean in different conditions, so I would be ready for anything on the day because open water can be unexpected.
Right. So how long did the swim take?
The swim took about 40 minutes.
Well, I say it's not too bad, but in the cold water and with waves, it can still, 40 minutes can be a long time. Did it feel a long time to you?
It didn't feel so long and it didn't feel very fast, but I was having a lot of fun doing it. So the time just flew by.
Good. I'm glad to hear there was a reward, that it felt fun. So what was the biggest challenge for you during this swim?
Before I did the swim, I got hypothermia in the ocean, training with my coach, and that made me really scared. And I was worried if it was going to be really cold like that on the day of the swim, but I knew that my octopus friends were cheering me on, and I wanted to do that for them. So I kept going.
I love that. Did you envision while you were swimming octopus below going, yay, go Lily?
Yeah.
So Lily, you live in Portugal, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so during the school year, you're there, and then in California during the summer. Do you think that there's a difference in the way people living in Portugal versus those in California feel about the octopus?
Yes. In Portugal, octopus is considered a traditional food, so it's very traditionally accepted to eat them. But in California, people are more used to seeing them as cool sea creatures. So I think everywhere people can learn to respect them more.
Interesting. All right. So, what are some of the more interesting questions that people ask you about as to why you want to protect octopus or octopuses?
People ask me why I chose octopuses specifically, but I said because they're really cool and they're not like any other sea creature. They have 9 brains and 3 hearts.
What,
And the
what, what,
farm
what,
that,
what, what? I'm sorry to interrupt you. You said 9 brains?
yes,
What, they have one in each of their tentacles and then one in their head?
correct.
Wow. Okay. Sorry to interrupt. So they have 9 brains and 3 hearts?
Yeah, it's a really interesting.
Very interesting. Is there some reason why they need 3 hearts?
I'm not sure why they need 3 hearts, but I know they need 9 brains, one in their head, which is like the main brain, and one
Right.
in each arm, which does each arm does a different thing.
Interesting. Well, they are very amazing creatures. Do you have any sense about people who live away from the ocean? Do they care any less about seafood farming?
Some do, some don't, but try and help them understand what happens in the ocean affects everyone, climate, food, and our ecosystems. Even if we don't live near the sea, the ocean health matters for all of us.
So, what do you say to disinterested people? How do you make them see that the issue is important?
I help them relate to things in everyday life and why the ocean matters so much. And if we didn't have the ocean, how little of things we would have. And it's really important and why we need to protect it.
Okay. Tell me something that we need that the ocean provides.
So for many people, it's food. But I also try to make them aware of overfishing. And the ocean also helps clear CO2 out the air, which
Right.
is better for our planet.
What's the status of this octopus industrial complex in Spain?
So it hasn't happened yet, but the government is looking on planning to get it started. And the money I raise from my swim will go to a charity called Compassion in World Farming. And they're going to use it for a campaign in the Canary Islands, Spain, where the farm is going to be happening.
Well, all right. So before we end, I want to ask you to talk to listeners who might want to be an octopus defender, or maybe have a different ocean creature that they wish to protect. What could you say to help them be a more effective defender for the ocean?
Start small, learn, speak up, and take action. Use your talents, whether it's art, science, or swimming, or anything else you're interested in, to support what you care about. You don't have to be perfect or old to make a difference. Just start.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to say before we say goodbye?
Well, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Young Planet Leaders community for putting us in touch and featuring me as part as their community spotlight series.
I agree. There are a lot of young people like you who are really trying to make a difference. And so I'm really glad to have met you. And we're at 7 hours difference. So that makes quite a challenge for both of us to speak to each other. So I appreciate you, taking time after dinner to talk to us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So I've been speaking with Lily Niederhofer, a young person who has harnessed her passion and skills to help defend octopuses from industrial aquatic farming. Lily's efforts have raised awareness and money to help stop a proposed industrial octopus farm in Spain. Lily is the latest guest on the Women Mind the Water Art of It series podcast. The series can be viewed on womenmindthewater.com, Museum on Main Street, and YouTube. An audio-only version and a transcript of this podcast are available on womenmindthewater.com, on iTunes and Spotify. Women Mind the Water is grateful to Jane Rice for the use of her song, Women of Water. All rights for the Women Mind the Water name and logo belong to Pam Ferris Olson. This is Pam Ferris Olson.